So we got staying in the Pricey TWA Hotel. I don't know what TWA is, but his honest review, man. See, from Bright Sun Travels to see how it is.
Since it was built in the early 1960s, the TWA terminal has stood as a beautiful relic of aviation
It's like the TVA, right?
past. But following the modernization of JFK Airport and the collapse of the company which built it, the terminal sat vacant and largely abandoned. That was until it was turned into a hotel. A heavily themed one, all around its early period
Wow,
outfittings.
dude.
Already a very cool concept, but not one without criticism, especially considering the price. So let's check into this special hotel and
So the 2WA or whatever it was before, it was a airport? Oh my god. You guys see these cars? Look at those, man. I mean, this one's more impressive. But it's impressive. This one's still in a like clean condition too, though. That's a clean car right there. You see it? Right there, right there. Clean.
see if it's worth the money.
Bright Sun Travels.
So this hotel, of course, has a very storied history, all the way back to the mid-1950s, when the US mega airline, Transworld Airways, had planned to build their own terminal at the then-known Idlewild Airport, now JFK. TWA wanted their terminal to be something striking and special, so they hired Finnish-American architect Eero Saarinen, a well-known mid-century architect who set out to craft a symbolic and beautiful terminal, known as a headhouse. The TWA Flight Center, as it was
Wow.
called, opened in 1962, introducing several novel features in airport design, and with its striking architecture, the headhouse was a thing of beauty, sporting peak 1960s mid-century design, the one which Eero Saarinen would never live to fully see open. As years passed, the terminal would see various alterations
I wonder
when
why it shut down though. Cause like look at this, so many people like actually using it.
never lived to fully see open. As years passed, the terminal would see various alterations to meet the growing demand of passengers as well as the size and number of aircraft. Through the next few decades, the terminal would continue to operate, though by the 1990s, it had begun to visibly deteriorate, as did the financial condition of TWA itself. There were even talks of demolishing the building, though the commitment to building Terminal 5 would save the structure. Ultimately, TWA would declare bankruptcy and dissolve completely after merging with American Airlines. The latter corporation would continue to
Oh,
operate
TWA is an airline company.
out of the flight center through late 2000.
I mean, obviously, sure, but I don't know. I didn't know who the fuck that was. So,
One. But then, the terminal would just be left there. Preservationists fought to keep the structure, while the governing
wow.
bodies which oversaw the airport found it to be functionally out of date, which it unfortunately was.
Wait, is this how it looks today? It's not. Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's. Oh my god, that was the original design or the original thing for it. Wow. Oh, okay. Okay. No, never mind, never mind. Oops. Wow. That's a big difference, you know. Okay. Yeah.
As a result, the terminal would sit abandoned and disused for years to come, only seeing brief uses as a filming location and for special events. Despite receiving historic building status in 2005, the building was still disused and deteriorating away. But in 2015, a lifeline was thrown its way. JetBlue, which now had control over the structure, announced they had
Wow.
entered into an agreement with hotel operator MCR Hotels. They would commit to spend $230 million to not only build two modern lodging towers flanking it, but also commit to a complete restoration of the original head house to its original 1960s fittings. So after
Um.
4 years, the TWA Hotel would open in
Oh my
spring of
god.
2019.
That's a nice ass hotel, dude. Like still have that huge space behind it, no? Like where the actual planes go on and go off. I wonder what they do with that. Is it just like empty or just flats? That looks nice.
With a
It definitely does give that old look though to it still.
ton of buzz, and a whole lot of interest from those into architecture, history, and aviation. I'm personally into all of those,
Wow.
so this hotel has been on my radar ever since. And with decently good reviews, I was eager to stay there. Flying into JFK for my trip aboard the Queen Mary
Oh yeah, we did watch one of his other videos today, which is why led me to watching this one.
2 was the
There's a pyramid one
perfect
in Las Vegas.
excuse to stay there. So, let's go check in. We got a deluxe king with runway view room. And while this category type cost quite a considerable amount more than just a normal
Emirates.
standard room, when we first arrived, I was kind of surprised.
Oh, this is his room. I was kind of blinking out. I was like, I thought we were just looking at some random room. But this is his room. It's a nice little room. Like where the bedroom area is, it's nice. I mean, I like it. Nice little retro kind of style with the chair and the dial phone. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Surprised on how small it was. Perhaps I was slightly misled by the
One king bed, sleeps two. I mean, I'm not complaining. That shit looks nice.
marketing photos for this room type,
Deluxe king with runway view.
but I do understand
Oh, so the airport still works. I'm guessing the airport's in a different area now? No?
why it is the way it is. MCR hotels could really only do so much with the property to make it commercially viable.
Or maybe it's both. Maybe it's a thing to go to your plane. Oh no, JetBlue's over. I don't fucking get it. I'm gonna be honest. It could be both airport and a hotel.
The structure was obviously not designed as a hotel,
Okay, let's look at this for a second. Oh, that's the old one. My bad.
and with strict land limitations as well as height limitations around the central terminal building, they
Oh, okay. So this is that's the terminal. You pick up people, drop off, whatever. So that's the actual airport over there. This is completely different from that. I see, I see.
needed to fit a certain number of hotel rooms to make it economically viable. They would need to fit a certain number of hotel rooms
That's
to make the
nice.
hotel profitable, all within a very small
But I wouldn't
footprint.
want people looking into my room as well. Because you can clearly see in that shit.
All of those strict limitations meant that in order to pack as many rooms into the hotel as possible, the rooms themselves needed to be pretty small. Our room
Yeah.
is no exception, as it is on the tighter side, and it does come with some sacrifices. A notable omission here is really any storage. There is a very tight closet that you can hang only a few items in.
I mean,
as
the storage is whatever, in my opinion, because it's just a little place you stay at. Like for a flight, or like waiting for a flight, or... Yeah, like a next day flight, or... I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. Hold on. The storage size does not matter because you're not living there. You know, you're staying there if your flight was delayed, or if you gotta catch a next day flight. The easiest thing to do is just stay in the hotel at the airport. So in my opinion, the storage is fucking whatever.
small bar
Just leave it on the ground, you know?
area with no complimentary water provided, and a mini fridge. While there isn't much here in the entryway, it all does look very nice. In fact, I really like the room's
amazing.
overall design aesthetic. It obviously invokes a mid-century modern theme, and I think it all looks really
I'm definitely jacking some pencils, man.
tasteful, and for the most part, really well designed. The materials, the lighting, the textures, it all looks really good. Now the main bedroom area is pretty unique. Unlike a normal hotel configuration, the king-size bed is placed in the middle of the room, facing towards the windows. Its headboard also acts as a desk. Now the bed itself
it.
is nice. It has comfortable enough linens
That's a
and a nice
clean ass headboard though. Look at that. That's clean.
mattress. The side tables also feature plug sockets, with one even featuring a wireless charging pad, which is nice. The bathroom is said to have been inspired by Hollywood, with its large light bulb lined mirror.
I
I'm
see
not a
it.
huge fan of the European style half glass shower, but it was all functional, I
like
guess, and honestly not very noteworthy. What
It
is,
looks
however, are all the unique touches and small details. For example, I love the unique branded items in the room, from the glasses to the stationery to the many pencils on offer. I love the vintage rotary phone that does work, as well as the beautiful and tactile switch hardware.
Oh, that's what it's
all
called.
very
Rotary phone. I said dial phone.
phone that does work, as well as the beautiful and tactile switch hardware. It's all very nice and an overall well-rounded room, especially for this category of hotel. It could have easily been very generic, and they didn't go that route, which I really appreciate. That being said, there are some problems here. Space is again something that is in short supply here.
I
And
mean,
with
it's
our large
whatever.
bags, it was pretty difficult to spread out. While that sort of thing is just a fact of life with the logistics of this hotel, the desk trash system is certainly within their control. Okay, I really don't get
What?
this.
You place recycles here. Place garbage here. This is just for maids like going in there and clean up the stuff. So you just it makes it easier for them.
At all. Apparently, they want you to place all of your trash on this little pad on the desk, all in an effort to go green. First of all, there's a trash bin in the bathroom, so there's that. But also, if you're ordering food and eating it on the desk, or really just doing anything on the desk, there's certainly a lingering thought that you have to ask yourself on whether or not this desk has really been cleaned all that well since the last guest deposited whatever vile trash they had piled here. Not to mention that it's on the corner.
I mean, just don't eat on the pad, just don't eat on the pad. I'm sure they cleaned it pretty good because the hotel itself looks pretty clean. And look at that, it's all shiny and stuff, it looks clean. If you're eating, you're not eating off the desk as well.
Guest deposited whatever vile trash they had piled here. Not to mention that it's on the corner closest to the main thoroughway of the room, making it very visible at all times. It's a truly bizarre decision to force guests to sleep with their trash next to their head instead of just.
I mean, you don't have to put your trash and recycles there. It's just an option. If you want to be helpful or help out the maids and stuff, you just put it there before you leave. That's it. You don't just leave the trash there the entire time.
Having a bagless garbage and recycling system, which is essentially the same concept. To make matters even worse, I did find that this room wasn't exactly the cleanest. There were switches in the bathroom which were pretty grimy, while others had some various obvious places that haven't been cleaned in a while. The room was also pretty roughed up in areas, with almost all of the furniture showing some wear and tear. Honestly, nothing too bad for a 4-star hotel, but you also have to remember that this property isn't that old, and at this particular price point, I would expect better. Now, truly much of this can be forgiven by the best part of this room, which is the view. We were located in the Hughes wing, and because we were given a higher floor, I think thanks to the deluxe room category, we had incredible views over the Terminal 4 and 5 apron. The views over the Terminal 4 gates were particularly amazing, as those gates can accommodate the larger international aircraft, meaning we could comfortably watch from our bed massive A380s pushing back and taxiing.
You can watch them, they can watch you,
away. In my opinion, this is the much better view. By comparison, the Saarinen wing mostly has views over Terminal 5, which is still cool, but I much prefer this side. So if you care about that, ask the front desk for this particular wing. Really, watching the whole airport in a flurry of activity was such a cool experience, and we continue to do so through the night. As someone who really loves aviation, this is by far the greatest hotel room I could ever conceive for something like this. And if you're worried about sound, thankfully these floor-to-ceiling windows are nearly 5 inches thick, with acoustics in mind. So they're tuned to block out the noise of jet engines, and that makes the
That's amazing, dude.
room really quiet.
I didn't even think about that. The noise from planes, especially right next to a highway ramp too, or an on-ramp, is definitely would you'd think it'd be very loud, but that's great.
Now the real star of the show is when you head downstairs to the main.
Oh my god, even more Nicest cars. Look over there. Oh my god, dude. Is that DeLorean? What? Who? Okay.
Lobby, which is actually the stunning piece of architecture that once used to be the TWA flight
Those
center.
are definitely show cars though. Like on the camper van over here, it has a little thing there. I'm guessing it says like for show, don't touch or whatever. Does it say explodes? Yeah, these are too clean to not be display
is actually
cars.
the stunning piece of architecture that once used to be the TWA flight center. With the restoration's fine attention to detail, this truly is a fantastic space. You'll find most of the hotel's amenities from the check-in area and the food hall, now taking the place of where the airline check-in desks and baggage drop-offs used to be, to a full fitness area, a gift shop with really great branded merchandise, a photo area with themed rooms, and the iconic sunken lounge bar. Upstairs,
that looks fucking dope though, dude.
a photo area with themed rooms, and the iconic.
Oh my god. That's a nice ass clean red and everything, dude. Oh my god. Such a nice design.
Sunken lounge bar. Upstairs on the mezzanine level is the hotel's main restaurant, the Paris Cafe, another bar, and a lovely little museum of former TWA flight crew uniforms.
The flight crew used to wear this? Yo, that one sounds clean. White and brown? I mean, all of these are insanely nice. Wow, that's a nice brown too. Both for both of these.
These are all surrounded
That's hella clean, dude.
by serene lounging areas with more historical information. The whole flight center is a work of art,
I wonder what they were now though.
though. Its curved lines, its enormous windows, and the many unique touches around. It all really brings together a uniquely 60s experience that I've never seen before. Scattered around the property are authentic aviation-related artifacts, as well as
That shit's old.
Scattered around the property
Do they still use that?
are authentic aviation-related artifacts, as well as aero
No, it's just showcase.
appropriate ones, like the various cars parked out front, as well as the charming BMW
Oh my god. Shit's all clean, dude.
Isetta inside. The center model shows you how this terminal used to be designed and gives you an idea of the layout of the landscape. The sunken lounge really encapsulates the whole vibe in here with its
Yo, I know I'm pausing shit ton. I'm only halfway through. But like, look at this. That's a nice plane, man. I didn't even notice their flight stuff is in alcohol glasses. You know, wine, martini, champagne, whatever. That's dope.
its bold red seats to the constantly changing split flap arrival and departure board. From the daytime to the evening, it's just always a pleasant, good vibe. And as you sit here and look around at all the details, you begin to notice everything from the unique penny tiling throughout to the signage. It's all just so atmospheric. But the already fantastic
That's so
amenities don't
nice.
stop here. Aside from a rather expansive convention center,
Oh, convention center. I was like, what the fuck is that?
the TWA Hotel also has a rather famous infinity pool
The hotel has a community pool? That shit looks hot too. Oh my god. That pool looks hot.
and observation deck on top of the Hughes wing. Their
Oh my
year-round
God.
rooftop pool is pretty impressive. Perhaps the only place where you can
That's
swim
nice, man. I would swim in that.
right next to an Emirates A380. Aside from the other outdoor seating, you'll also find the pool bar here, which during our winter stay had been converted to a charming chalet theme bar.
That's like a. It reminds me of like a Norwegic kind of thing. It looks nice, like a. Like their, what is it called? Their skirts, kilts, right? I'm pretty sure. That's what it looks like. Just very cozy and nice, man. Looking like a Santa kind of lodging.
Which I thought was very cute. Now, as you could probably imagine, this pool
Wow.
during the warmer months does get pretty busy, and the
Oh my
TWA
God.
Hotel does capitalize on it. Between May 1st and November 1st, you are required to make a pool reservation after 10:45 a.m., and even if you are a hotel guest, you have to pay a cover charge of $25 per adult. If you're a non-hotel guest,
I mean, is it $25 a day, or like $25 extra for your room, for you to stay, or is it $25? I don't know. It has to be $25 upon booking your pool time. That's nice.
have to pay a cover charge of $25 per adult. If you're a non-hotel guest, you are then required to pay $50 per person.
Makes
You're
sense.
also only given an hour and 45 minutes per reservation. And look, I get this area gets busy, but that's pretty ridiculous. It's a blatant money grab, and if they really wanted to cut down on the overall crowds, then maybe don't offer it to non-hotel guests. At least during the winter
Oh, what
months,
was
you
that?
don't need. That's
Sorry,
pretty
apologies.
ridiculous. It's a blatant money grab, and if they really wanted to cut down on the overall crowds, then maybe don't offer it to non-hotel guests. At least during the winter months, you don't need.
It should definitely not be available to people who don't stay at the hotel. That doesn't make sense to me. But I mean, they're definitely making a shit ton of money by doing that. But if you're trying to cut population for the pool, like it just makes sense to only limit it to people that use the hotel.
Need to pay or make a reservation. But either way, it is pretty disappointing to see that. Down below, back at the lobby building, you might have noticed the aircraft outside the massive windows
Yeah, I think
beyond the
it's
sunken
nice.
lounge. That's Connie, one of 4 remaining
Oh, hey,
Lockheed
Connie.
Constellation airplanes of this particular model in the
Wait.
one of 4 remaining Lockheed Constellation airplanes of this particular model in the world. And this
Wow.
one, dressed in the classic TWA livery, is actually a cocktail bar. It originally flew for
I
TWA
thought
in
so.
1958 until being converted to a freighter and trading various hands through the rest of the century. She was ultimately sold to the hotel and transported here after a full restoration. And seeing the
Oh,
aircraft in person, really given full reins to explore it on the ground, is a
wow.
really cool experience.
That's very cool. I feel you definitely gotta pay to go in there now.
Even better, though, is boarding it and sipping drinks in a surprisingly spacious cabin. It's such a cool experience, and while drink prices aren't all that cheap, the experience is definitely worth it. What
Oh.
comparatively isn't, however,
And I assumed you have to pay to get in there because no one's in there. I don't know why.
aren't all that cheap, the experience is definitely worth it.
Wow.
What comparatively isn't, however, is the Paris Cafe. You always yell at me to try the in-house restaurant, so I did. And guess what? It was overpriced and not all that great. So checkmate, viewers.
I mean, it makes sense. It's a hotel restaurant.
Yeah, I was actually really
Especially at a, what do you say, a 4-star hotel? It's nice. What, you're telling me that that's not good? There's no way you're telling me that was not good. Those fries alone, those look amazing. And like the cheese, that's a fucking fat tomato though. Take that shit out. But it looks good, even though I'm someone that only eats burgers with just ketchup and cheese. All right, I'm someone that ketchup and cheese only. Okay, that shit still looks good. I can still say when something looks good, that burger looks good. Just to fucking cut that tomato.
really disappointed with our meal here. My burger was just fine, and Emmy's
Oh
chunky.
wait,
Yeah,
wait,
I was
wait.
actually really disappointed with our.
Yeah. The- Never mind. I see the burger or the beef patty now. It doesn't look great. All right, it doesn't look great. It's a small little composed, compact thing. It doesn't look like it has any juice or anything in it. I don't know. It just doesn't look great. But I can't get over that fat fucking tomato.
Meal here. My
Please tell me that fries are good.
burger was just fine, and Emmy's chunky and dry cacio e pepe
Yeah, that shit looks dry. Shit looks dry. I mean, I'm sure it still tasted good. I would say it still looks like it would, but it looks dry.
was not great. It also doesn't help that my burger was $32, while Emmy's cacio e pepe was $34.
Oh my god, 32 and 34 bucks for fucking what, dude?
Yes, the atmosphere was very nice, but those are borderline offensive prices. Speaking
I mean, at the end of the day, if you're going to like expensive restaurant like this, you don't really get a burger, you know?
atmosphere was very nice, but those are borderline
But so that's a fucking ripoff.
offensive prices. Speaking of prices, though, let's take a look at how much our room was. For one night in a deluxe runway view room, it was a very hefty $538 with tax. That is a lot of money. At that price point, it's a little.
This guy paid 500 bucks for that shit.
Speaking of prices, though,
I mean, it's not shit. That was a fucking amazing room for like 100 bucks. You know, maybe like a max. I say max 160. Max 160 just because it's, you know, a airport hotel and it's very deluxe and has a great ass view. But 500.
let's take a look at how much our room was. For one night in a deluxe runway view room, it was a very hefty $538 with tax. That is a lot of money. At that price point, it's a little hard to justify all the greatness that comes with it. But of course, our room is not a standard one, and if you just want a standard room, likely one with no view, but a similar layout to ours, well, they can start at around $309 with tax.
300? I need to see that room. Wait, is this the room? I think this is the room. It looks the same. Looks the same. $280 less? Looks the same.
This is while the various guaranteed view rooms
That one's
increase that price slightly. The cheapest deluxe king with runway view that I could find is $417, while an executive suite is $426.
But he got fucking ripped off. He got the worst room. He paid the most money for the worst room. Like, look at that. It's like spacious room. I mean, of course, you're paying for the view, but the view is not that much more expensive than all of these. Like, these are more spacious for like everything. It's just, I mean, they're all very nice rooms though. Like, yeah, they're all very nice rooms. This one, he should have got this one, dude. But he definitely paid the 500 for a room that had an amazing view though. So that's fucking expensive.
The presidential suites come in at 900.
Oh my god. You know, if I was rich and I had the money, and I'm already gonna think about spending 500, I'd be like, fuck it, 918, give me that room. Especially if you're making a YouTube video out of it, I would get the best room they got. You know. I mean, of course, that's if I'm a YouTuber who makes their living off of, you know, fuck, drawing a blank. If you make a living off of reviewing hotels that you go to, right? I would get the most expensive room you can get, you know? This to show because ooh, excuse me. I keep drawing a blank, my bad. I have a headache right now. But like I said, if you're making a review on hotels, you should definitely get the most expensive one. Just because most people don't review hotels, right? I mean, a lot of people do, but people are watching you for it. I would get the most expensive room just to show them what the best hotel room looks like and if it's worth the amount of money you had to pay for that most expensive room. So I would get this one. I would get this one, man. Even if I'm staying there for just a day, which I most likely would be. That's a dope room. Come on now.
And $18 for a TWA view room. And
Holy
for
fuck.
just shy of $1,000, we have the Howard.
Oh, this one's less expensive. Oh no, this one's more. You guys see a difference? I don't. I mean, like I said, the view is something that would draw the price up a shit ton. Even though this case is, I'm gonna say only. It's only $80 more compared to his couple $100 more uh room that he had to pay for a little small thing. I mean, $80 more for a view like that though. I don't know. It really depends on the guy, cause people likes watching the aircraft lift off. Some other people would think this view is better, because this is a nice view of the hotel, you know, or like the main lobby. So I think it really depends on who you ask, which one's better, instead of just purely the price. But it looks the exact same.
Hughes Presidential Suite with runway view. These are all priced as advance purchase rooms that cannot be refunded. Of course, there are also upcharged as advance purchase rooms that
Huh.
cannot be refunded. Of course, there are also upcharge add-ons like select.
Bring a pet for $75. Got a canine carry-on. Reserve a pack and play. Jet off without a crib. Reserve a complimentary pack and play with. What is that? What? Reserve a complimentary pack and play for. I don't get what that is. Free per day. I mean, it's free. Just take that shit. Check in early for 25. Check in early between 12 and 4 p.m. Yeah, check in there. Just you have to pay $25 to check in. Is that what? Check out late. $50. Oh, I see. I see. Okay, I get it. I get it.
Selecting early check-in between 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. for $25, or late checkout by 2 p.m. for $50. While these are mostly just blatant cash grabs, I have to admit that the value proposition here I honestly don't think is that bad when put into context. TWA is the only hotel connected to JFK, and the next nearest hotels are a decent drive, all of which are really not at the same level as this one. Really, there are no close comparables to this hotel because it is so unique. When you think of an airport hotel, you typically think of a painfully generic Hyatt or Sheraton, like this.
Yeah, I understand the price because of how high end it is, but that's still a shit ton of money for those small rooms. But yeah, Uh, I do understand it though.
one that I stayed in the night prior. They're supposed to just get the job done and maybe provide a little niceties for the business crowd. The
Yeah.
only truly nice airport hotel in North America that I can think of is the Fairmont Vancouver Airport. But nothing comes close to the unique experience and historical landmark this hotel is for architecture and aviation. There's just nothing else like it, and that compounded by the fact that it's the only on-site hotel for JFK, I mean, it kinda does justify the pricing. But let's actually break it down and give it a score. I call my scoring system Jake's Is It Any Good Score, and it's based on 5 categories, each out of 10 for potential
If you guys didn't watch the other video, probably not. He rated the Las Vegas pyramid one. He rated that one his lowest one. I think it was 22,
perfect
which was terrible.
score of 50 out of 50. We'll start with the location, and this is an easy one. You're staying here because it's an airport hotel, and with its direct connection to Terminal 5 and a short tram ride away from the rest of the facility, it's an easy 10 out of 10. Amenities are also plentiful at this category of hotel. There's all the usual suspects of a restaurant and a gym, but also a ton of luxury elements like a rooftop
Yo, that fucking pool looks amazing, dude. It's a nice long pool with it's an airport view. I don't know. Some people say it's nice, some people wouldn't. I think I don't know. I think it's kind of cool, I guess. Yeah, it's a pretty cool view. But it's a nice hot pool at the same time. That's nice.
top infinity pool, a very unique bar, plus so many historical artifacts and exhibits, though sometimes at an unnecessary upcharge. So it's a 9 out of 10. Luxury/quality is also a really solid category here, with pretty well designed rooms, great fittings and nice touches, all of which extend out to the rest of the hotel. Our room, however, was showing some wear and tear, more so than I would expect for this price point and age, and I really don't like being nickel and dime.
Oh, that's a nice little lounge area, man. Wow. If I ever became rich or like had money, that fucking TV record player and shit would be mine, bro. That's a nice outdoor TV. That's fine.
Time for everything. It's still very good though, and an 8 out of 10.
Wow.
Service was fine. Honestly, it was a bit lower than average, especially for a 4-star hotel at this price point, so it's unfortunately a 4 out of 10. Value is tough. If you want a guaranteed runaway view room, then they make you pay for it, and it's not cheap. But again, it's one of a kind, and for both its uniqueness and the convenience, it does soften the sticker shock. I think if you have an inherent interest in aviation, the value proposition goes way up. While a standard room for
Oh my god, it has a stitching that says TWA.
inherent interest in aviation, the value proposition
That's clean right there. That's a clean little pizza slice in your uniform.
goes way up. While a standard room for those who don't really care about watching big airplanes go whoosh will probably have to grapple with the high cost per night. For me though, personally, it's a 7 out of 10. That brings the total score to 38 out of 50, which is a pretty good score, but it does lack in some fundamental ways.
Does he? Oh, he does. He shows the one I was talking about. It's at his least one right there. 22. Fucking nice. TWA, what is that? It's 3, 6. Okay. What is that? 8? I fucking counted it and I blanked out after 6. 3, 6, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 7. His fucking 7th one on his entire list. I mean, it's tied with the Fairmont one he was talking about earlier. The only thing that made it worse would be this one. Was that one service?
I really wish and hope that if
I don't remember. Is it? Yeah, I think that one's service.
they solve some of these problems and make it a little bit more affordable, this can truly become a world-class hotel, something to be modeled by any other airport hotel going forward. So regardless of some of the lack of maintenance and
That's hella empty though.
cleaning problems, along with some of the slightly egregious pricing in both add-ons and the main restaurant, I really enjoyed my stay here. How could I not? I spent so much time researching TWA when I made my video about it on the main channel years ago, and to actually walk inside the once abandoned flight center and tour it as it once was in
That fucking turkey. That's nice. I like it.
the glory days of air travel, it was just something you can't replicate. While our room wasn't perfect, I thought the views were so unbelievably cool, and I was entertained for hours just watching the normal day-to-day operations of JFK. It's a stay that I genuinely won't forget, and if anything,
We were just staring at stairs.
day-to-day operations of JFK. It's a stay that I genuinely won't forget.
What are they doing?
And if anything in this video looked interesting to you, I would at the very least highly recommend stopping by and taking a look at it all. And if you're enthusiastic enough, then I would recommend a stay here. Though if you're on a budget and don't necessarily care about staying on site or care about anything in this video, I would probably just say go to a nearby hotel and take the shuttle. Now remember, the whole reason I flew into JFK and New York as a whole was to board the Queen Mary 2 ocean liner for my trip across the Atlantic. I made a whole video on it if you're
Yeah, he was talking about this the last video we watched. But amazing video. Yeah. It's amazing hotel and everything. But it's fucking expensive, dude. He definitely got ripped off versus all the other rooms he could have got though. Like all the other rooms was nice, dude. And bigger from what I seen. But yeah, amazing video, man. Bright Sun Travel staying in the Pricey TWA Hotel. Honest review.